Now, in connection to that story, the government has finally suspended church, mosque, funeral and other social gatherings in a bid to contain the deadly coronavirus pandemic. Addressing the media this evening, Health Cabinet Secretary, that is Mutahi Kagwe, issued tough directives to Kenyans after confirming 8 new coronavirus cases. And as our reporter Jeff Kayamba tells us, some churches today went on with their normal services as others remained deserted following the directive from their clergies. Here's that report.
9 days after the deadly coronavirus hit Kenya, with 15 cases confirmed across the country. Despite government urging the Kenyans to refrain from the public gatherings, a majority of the churches went on with their normal prayers.
Tumeweza kufuata yale masharti ama maagizo ama vielelezo vilivyowekwa ili kwamba tukaweze kukusanyika kama kanisa.
But despite churches assuring their members of safety, a big shock has now landed on them after the government issued a tough directive.
The NAC has directed the suspension of all church, mosques, funerals, and other social gatherings, and funerals are restricted to immediate family members only.
Mutahi Kagwe, the Health Cabinet Secretary, says they won't entertain any further gatherings.
But some of them have decided, because of tithe and because of contributions in a church or because of contributions in other gatherings, that they must continue to do so. We all know what is happening in Italy today.
A spot check at All Saints Cathedral, Nairobi, the place remained deserted. The All Saints Cathedral is among the churches which suspended their Sunday services across the country. Church members have instead been directed to follow online services as the country puts in strict measures to control the spread of the coronavirus.
It's business unusual here at All Saints Cathedral, Nairobi, even as the church believers heed to the calls of the church leaders to keep off the gathering following the corona pandemic across the world.
It would be irresponsible of this government to allow this sort of behavior to continue, knowing very well what consequences they are when you go into this kind of social gatherings. It is almost like committing suicide.
A visit at Jesus Teaching Ministry JTM, the seats for the church members and the apostles remained vacant. Mutahi Kagwe suspended all the gatherings where now the family members will be only allowed to bury their loved ones.
What is it that I do not understand when we tell Kenyans this is not a joke?
If all goes to the worst, the government is likely to impose a lockdown, a move that is likely to affect 47 million Kenyans.
I'm joining the Nubian Youth Council for the community sensitization. In a situation of lockdown, I know that our people from the informal settlement will be hardly hit because these are people who live hand to mouth. They have to go out and work so that they earn a living. So it will be a total mess for us as people from the informal settlement. But we are looking at a situation where the government needs to be ready. In such a situation, probably they need to provide for people who live in the informal settlement.
The other weighted directive were imposed to the public vehicle operators should they violate the earlier measures.
Go home. Stay at home. People are getting sick because they came in touch with somebody else. The people we are talking about, the 8 people we are talking about, some of them are tourists. They have been to the pubs, they have been to the hotels, they have come in touch with some of us. And
the 14-seater matatus are to carry a maximum of 8 passengers to avoid the spread of the coronavirus. The 25-seater vehicles are to carry at most 15 passengers, while the 30-seater PSVs, the SGR and the commuter trains were ordered to maintain a maximum of 60% of their capacity with each trip. Reporting for Ebro TV, I'm Jeff Kayamba.
Now the